This is Signature Gold. .TV.
Stand by for transmission.
This is Smithy.tv.
I've eaten lots of food, I've had lots to drink, and then I went and took a piss. Then I turned on this podcast that is called Cast This!
Hey everybody, welcome to Cast This.
Cast This!
I'm James Scott.
I'm Ryan Goldhar.
Our guest today is Sebastian Pigott.
Good day.
Good day, sir. Spoken like a true Ottawa Valley boy. Are you, have you ever lived in the Ottawa Valley?
No.
He's born and raised here, in fact. He's a Toronto boy.
Were you born here?
I was, yeah.
Yeah?
Wasn't quite raised. I was raised in Portugal.
How do they raise people in Portugal?
Usually in
Remarkably
pens.
similar to here.
Is that right?
I was
in
kept on a
Portuguese?
leash the whole time.
Only in Portuguese?
No, I didn't speak a word of it.
Oh, yeah?
I lived in a little English town of English expats. We're all tourists.
Was it a diplomatic sort of thing? Did your parents?
No, my mom's just a complete lunatic, and her lunacy took us to the other side of the
Took you to
Atlantic
Portugal.
Ocean, and I was too young to object, so it worked out all right, though. And then and her lunacy after I graduated high school took her to New Zealand with my sister. And so after high school, I followed her there for 2 years.
Nice.
Before I came back here to act.
Nice.
So that brings us to our first question of the day.
Okay,
You like acting?
that's all.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Absolutely.
I've got a question for you before we even get into any of the stuff that we're gonna talk about.
Humiliating, gut-wrenching experience.
Sebastian,
no, I hate
are
it.
you a male? Are you a man? Are you a
outdoorsman?
Are you a person? No. We're trying to get a sponsor for the show, and I went up to the cottage. I know you're a great outdoorsman.
Yeah.
I know you do some fishing and such. And
I wouldn't say I'm a great outdoors. I think I'm allowed. It's kind of like naughty and big. You're still fishing.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I went up to a cottage this weekend, and I got the mosquitoes attacked me. Didn't have any.
Some of those don't look like mosquitoes. Some of those
man.
look like
you've got
bed
chicken
bugs,
pox
spider
or
bites,
measles or
and
something. What's this?
That is awful.
No, that's heroin.
That is. I wish it were. It would have been a lot more fun to get if that were the case.
You look like you've been like
Mauled.
Those certainly do not look like mosquito
No,
bites.
but I think it's just. But I
You have
got
fleas,
them.
James.
I do. Maybe
James, you have
do you
fleas.
fleas at your place?
bed bugs or I don't know.
I've had bed bugs before, but I didn't think
Is a bed bug
bugs-
an actual thing?
It is.
It is an actual thing.
I
yeah.
thought it was things mothers just
You'd
said
think
to their
so,
children.
but
like
no.
this.
In fact, there's huge infestations. New York and Chicago got like obliterated, like
By
the
bed bugs.
the rental units and hotels.
I've had bed bugs before. I used to live.
So is it
down
the actual
at,
name of a bug?
It is.
Wow, there's. I'm
I'm
there's
sure
a-
that
it's
there's
like
like
a
a
Roman
Tashi
A bug aspetus or something like that.
Yeah, Bedis bugus.
Bedis bugus.
They pay me for my sense of humor. This is what I bring to
But the thing is, I went up to the cottage and got bitten. And that's the smaller ones. And then I was up on this outdoor patio on, I guess Tuesday, and I got these. I arrived back.
So those
home.
were new.
I don't know what's wrong with your
Now the
arm.
ones,
James. It's
the
really
ones
freaking
on
me
this
out,
side
dude.
of your wrist, the ones
They
that
do not look
like
like mosquito
spider
bites.
Yeah, these are from the cottage weekend.
Yeah, so those don't look like mosquito bites either.
Okay.
That looks like you've just been attacked by something.
You
Okay.
guys should switch.
But then
seats.
this, I got like
I don't want to actually be close
I
to
felt,
you.
I
Why
felt
did
this
we have to get
happen. I
closer?
felt this happen.
It looks like you have
and
some
I've
sort of
noticed it-
skin-eating disease.
I do. And then it gets much worse.
All right, so where are we going with this? Your arm is disgusting.
We're trying to get. Yeah, my arm is disgusting. We'll be right back. No, you do. You do fishing.
I do, yeah.
Out in the great outdoors. Do you put on insect repellent when you go out there?
Well, I do now.
Okay, so
Last year, I fancied myself very rugged.
Yeah.
Having never been out
Yeah.
of the city before, I had great
You rubbed
fantasies
yourself with
about
orange juice, I'm assuming,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
peanut butter and orange
Peed
juice.
all over myself. That's amazing. The bugs loved it. My girlfriend won't see me anymore. No, I went out last year. I started going out to the country because I bought my first motorcycle, and then an actor friend of mine, Peter Pasek, got me hooked on fishing. And just the experience as a city boy, having never really spent any time in the country, of catching a fish and killing a fish, and the brutality and primal.
Eat it raw, just take a bite.
Yeah, I know. No, that was my fantasy, that I would be some rugged outdoorsman. So yes, I do. I wear
And what
vast
what-
quantities
What
of
do
insect
you?
repellent.
What's the best?
Insect repellent?
yeah,
I don't
that
know.
you
I have
use.
the green one I got off the
The
shelf.
green one?
What
Green
finally,
one. If you're listening to this podcast,
That's just.
right
I want to
now,
be sponsored by you, Green One.
Green one.
I think we
you
could.
are the greatest
This is your
insect repellent.
We're gonna look directly at you.
Please sponsor
the show.
Cast This.
Green one. Okay.
Fishing cast. Fishing.
Cast this.
I made a joke that Cast This was
I
Toronto's
hated
best
these jokes.
fishing and angling podcast, and now we have a fisherman here. We can
Hey, I
actually
see
be...
the tie-in now that you're doing.
Yeah, we can do
That's
that. It's a
good.
little roundabout, it's a little surreal, but please sponsor us. Insect repellent. I need it, obviously. And
How about the ugly stick? That's a fishing rod. The ugly stick
What-
casting.
Oh, it's not just something you beat someone with.
Or it's not. It's not something that you say. Oh, he or she was touched by the ugly stick before they were born, and then they look like they do now. But you know who wasn't touched by the ugly stick? Sebastian Pigott. I got something here I'd like to read to you. I felt that this is you're on the show being Erica, and I found this on the IMDb, and I just love it, and I want to read it to you.
This is by Justitia.
Justitia or Justitia.
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 Honest to God.
Honest to God, Justitia. I felt that Ethan, the character Erica Strange becomes involved with, was incredibly handsome and attractive. But then the Kai character, played by Sebastian Pigott, came on, and he is so hot.
All right.
His intense sexual and sensuous energy just stirs one right through the screen.
Damn, well, I wish you'd seen the gay episode they originally scripted between me and Ethan. Never went to camera.
Oh,
There were
that's
objections
too-
up and down the line. Mostly because I'm
too bad.
completely covered in hair from top. No, I'm joking.
And she adds this as a bonus, and he is a very fine, nuanced actor. This is one future famous top of the heap movie star.
Man.
Man, she's got man
dot,
at the end because she
dot.
just can't handle it. Justitia just can't handle
That's
it.
awesome,
anymore.
man. Thanks for.
I like
I'm
the
genuine.
deal.
I'm genuinely really, really flattered.
I
Thank
want
you
you
for
to leave here thinking that
I
you're...
truly hope she listens to our podcast.
Are you out there,
Or
Justitia?
he.
Yeah. yeah. Let's take a break and stop laughing, and then we'll get back to business here. What do you say?
All right, we'll be right back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
We're back with Sebastian Pigott. So you talked about crisscrossing around the world following your Bohemian mother.
Bohemian. That's a much nicer.
Yeah,
word than
Bohemian
what I used. That's
expat. And then you came back to Toronto to start an acting. How'd you get the acting bug?
I didn't.
Okay,
That came
we'll
much
be right
later.
back.
So singing came
No,
first.
no. It did.
Did singing come first?
No,
Okay.
no. Acting came first. I studied acting, and I went to Etobicoke School of the Arts for high school for 5 years, and I had no great.
Oh, so you were back here for high school?
I was here for high school, and then I went to New Zealand after.
Oh,
high
I see.
School.
So you were raised in Portugal, came back for high school.
Yeah, I got back when I was about 12 years old.
Oh,
and
okay. So
Got thrust
junior
into the
high and
brutality
and high
of junior
school.
high.
Was your
and all
mom here as well? Like during that time?
Everyone
period?
came back.
Yeah, everybody came back.
Okay.
Everybody came back. And we were here for 5 years, and I went to Etobicoke School of the Arts for acting, and had no great love for it. As far as I was concerned, it was all just making faces. I didn't understand the art form at all.
Like lemon face, lemon face,
Yeah,
line.
it's a sad, happy, believable, not believable. No. Which is sometimes what they want. But, maybe if I just stuck to that, it'd work a lot more. Just making faces.
Well, I think you'd be great in kabuki theater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And then I went traveling for 2 years to New Zealand. And so I came back largely because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what to do, and you know, acting had been something I'd done all my life, and it was when I started studying acting with a view towards doing it professionally that I started to understand the ideas of doing things for real as opposed to just pretending, and actually being emotionally invested in what you're doing, and allowing other people to affect you, and I mean, all of that. It was incredibly frightening for me. And then I realized not just the implications as an art form, but as a human being when you're, you know, the fact that it was difficult for me to open up and really look people in the eye and let them in. I mean, that told me something about myself, you know what I mean? And that things like that start to drive me to explore it deeper and really fall in love with it. Now, I kind of wish that hadn't happened because I can't stop. No? Just march down that road.
Yeah.
Day I'm dead. Hopefully something good comes out of it. Otherwise, it's a tremendous waste of a life.
Well, something. Then what triggered the singing? It was just like a hobby.
It was an accident. I'd always sang as a kid. My brother was the really serious musician, as he still is.
What's the difference in age between
2 years. He's 2 years older, and I'd always really looked up to him, and he was fantastic talent. And he'd been in England for playing shows, recording, whatever, and he came back to Canada to do Canadian Idol at my Bohemian mother's insistence. And so I just went down to hang out with him. Like, there was no great strategy at play for me. I was just this struggling actor, you know, booking a few gigs here, you know, doing a play here, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, I noticed in your IMDb profile, there's like you did something and I don't know how complete it is, but you did something like 2002, 2003, and then there's this big gap between that and Like this huge run of things, say starting in
Yeah, I
2007
know.
or whatever.
And then abject poverty and misery in between.
Yeah.
It was.
So you were
it was
struggling at
awful.
that time, and then you go down.
Well,
to
and then,
the-
like I say, and it was just it just goes to show you that luck. I think anybody who doesn't acknowledge how much luck plays a factor is lying to themselves. And so I just went down to hang out with my brother, completely unprepared, and then I was lucky. The show, they took me on, and then that was really the big break for me. And it opened doors for me. It led to being Erica, where I'm playing a singer. And it was an advantage in that I went into Canadian Idol already having been out there auditioning, done a few little gigs here and there, so people knew me. It wasn't like I was a complete neophyte. But
Did you treat the Canadian Idol experience as a singer, or did you feel like you were acting a bit while
completely, I acted my way through the whole thing.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, I mean, because music's something I've always done and always loved, and I would like to think I have a talent for it, but it was completely undeveloped at the time. And when you have an undeveloped talent, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's practically useless when I'm under any pressure.
The audition was a whim.
To audition for Canadian Idol, yeah, I went down to hang out with my brother, and it was like, yeah, sure, I'll go do it too. And then once the pressure was on, my ability
So
to
your brother,
relax
as a
and sing was
performer
gone.
and as a singer, goes to audition for this show, and you do too. How far did he get where you made the top 10?
He got cut just before the top 10
Wow.
because I acted my way through the whole thing.
Well,
it was
and
the best
also,
audition I've ever
and
done.
also,
in my
I
life.
think that they seized upon the gimmick of having two brothers on the show.
They did, and then they got tired of it. And what happened before we got cut? They did, and they decided to pit us against each other, and it was going to be one or the other. And I had a really good night, and I got lucky.
It's just a better night.
It was because it comes down to the night, and I'm an actor, and I know how to. You're working in an audition scenario. It's just like we got two cameras when we're on the stage on Canadian Idol pointing at you.
Are
Eye
choices
lines,
to top
eye
10
lines, all that
still
stuff.
call-in votes?
What's that?
Are the choices to the top 10 still call-in
Yeah.
votes? Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
so it's the
leading up,
audience.
so when you were pitted up even against your brother, and at that point, I guess, do they do a top 20 or?
Yeah, we go from top 24,
To
and then they
10.
basically put your groups in. They
I mean, I watched Idol, and so I know they used to go from 24
I've
to
never
12 or
watched
whatever. My wife is obsessed, so I therefore want to watch television.
It's fascinating. I mean, I'm just joking. It's fascinating. I think for people in the casting process.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating show to watch.
It is a fascinating show to watch, but but did you have to do they really have this whole sort of boot camp living, trying to manipulate the people who are there to make backstage stories that they could show on the TV and all that? Is that all happening?
Yeah.
And then as an actor, did you really seize upon that?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I think I was uniquely equipped to take advantage of that show.
Yeah.
Absolutely uniquely equipped. And I knew what was going on. I knew that it was a venue to showcase ourselves. I knew not to take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Because the show is going to be over and you're on your own, There's the deep end, kids. Swim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did my best to use it as a venue to showcase. And my goal was to be an actor. Even while doing that show, my goal wasn't to win.
I remember seeing clips, and you that's exactly what you spoke of and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And so, I mean, I'm really grateful and frankly proud
You should be.
of myself that I was able to use it for what it was.
Oh, and I think
I really appreciated the chance.
literally millions of people saw you that would not see you otherwise.
Look, it's such a gift, man.
Yeah.
Like, how you can't buy that. You cannot buy that if you had enough money.
Yeah.
So it was.
And it led directly to being
Really
Erica,
lucky, man.
and also directly, basically, to you and your brother hooking up as a duo. I imagine.
Yeah.
Good thing, right? Like,
Yeah, totally.
Would you have done that otherwise?
Well, no, because I had nothing to offer. It's true though. It's like, oh yeah, sure, kid. No, it was good, and like, I mean, now I do feel like I've earned my stripes as a singer.
Yeah.
But I was absolutely out of my depth. Singing on the show, singing after the show, starting working with my brother.
Yeah.
I mean, I was absolutely out of my depth, and I was so aware of how much better he was just having put in his 10,000 hours. You know what I mean? Where you just do it over and over and over again. I
What
hadn't
about the
done it.
connectivity to the judges and to the producers on the show? And like now that so they're keeping an eye out for talent regardless of who wins. Like I mean any producer worth their mint is going to look beyond just the one person who gets that one contract and the prize. If someone's they think that is going to top 2, 3, 4, 5 people. If they think that just by votes alone and people and audience are going to so with your experience in meeting them and interacting, how much interaction did you have with it was who
With
were
the judges on the show?
Yeah.
Zach Werner was one of them,
Right.
whom we all know from that show. Jake Gold.
I don't know him.
No, I was taking a dig at him.
I
He
know,
took
that's-
plenty of digs at me.
That's
That's
true.
all good, man. He's a great dude. I'm just kidding. Jake Gold.
And
Jake
Jan
Gold.
Arden, is that who the?
No,
it was-
she. what did she judge? She did judge in something, didn't she? No, it was Jake Gold, who managed the Tragically Hip, who now manages me and my brother.
Oh, great. Does he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, which is awesome. Sass Jordan.
Sass Jordan. Sorry, not Jenner. Sass
Yeah,
Jordan.
and then Farley Flex.
Who's that?
He's a manager now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great dude.
So,
but
what was the question?
But well, I guess my question is, okay, so he's your manager.
He's
now,
my manager
so
now, but during the show they can't. They're
no,
really careful.
I know
about
that
getting
at
in
that
touch
point,
or
but
whatever.
beyond the show, now you're off the show.
Yeah.
Now the show is over. You can have that kind of relationship. He now sees. He gets to see while the show's going on your talent, and then how soon after the show was done did you end up hooking up with him, or is that only more
ages
recent?
afterwards? He hooked up with my brother.
Right.
Because as I said, my brother was just eminently more qualified at that point for the job of professional musician.
Right.
And so it took a long time for me to catch up. Right. And then at some point, Jake was watching us, and he tried to do some stuff with my brother on his own. And thankfully for me, and the act we have now, it didn't work. It didn't go. But they did see he got some money from Warner's, and they did some stuff. And then at some point, he sort of recognized that, hey, this is working now, what me and my brother were doing together. And I kind of put in my hours.
Right.
Shit the bed a few times, just enough times to get good, And I started doing a good job, like a genuinely good job, and being confident. And so then Jake went, okay, let's do this, with the two of you. And so now he's got us working with a fella named Doc McKinney, who produced Estero. He's worked with Sting, and he has this new act called The Weeknd. Mm-hmm. Heard of The Weeknd?
No.
I have not.
He's just been Dre. He's like Dre's new find.
Okay.
And so he's been like 5 stars in the Rolling Stone, all over. So he's absolutely blown up, but he does hip hop mostly, and we do kind of acoustic soul. So it's.
So he's adding an R&B flair to your sound.
Yeah,
I guess. That's great.
It's completely different. It's the kind of thing that if he wasn't really talented, which he is, I never would have been interested, because it's potentially a disaster. You start doing looped beats under acoustic rock. But it's cool, man. It's cool. I'll send it to you, brother. You tell me if it's not cool, man, because it is.
You according to your website, you were just in England performing. Is that right?
Yeah, we were there right at the same time as the royal wedding.
Oh, wow.
Coincidentally.
Yeah.
How far in advance were you booked?
To do that?
Yeah.
I think they set up the royal wedding to coincide with our trip.
I think that's fantastic.
That's what I heard. In fact, the billing, I believe, at the Holiday Inn where everyone stayed, I think it said Pigott Brothers Royal Wedding.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Spinal Tap puppet show.
Jethro Tull at the Motel 6.
Yeah, that's right. Now, was that through your manager, or was that through your brother's connections because he lived there before?
That was through my brother. My brother does a lot of managing.
Yeah.
For us, because he lived there before, and so he set us up 7 shows in 7 nights, and talk about earning your stripes. Like I was saying, by the end of 7 days, I was so much better than when I got there. Mm-hmm. And Ollie had been out there for 2 years, gigging every night, and the level of polish. I mean, you see it, I'm sure, with actors coming in, and the ones who work at it, and who do it not once a week, not twice a week, but every day, and then it just starts to live in you, and
That's amazing.
Well, why don't we take a break right now? We'll be right back. We'll talk about
with Sebastian Pigott. We'll talk about Being Erica.
Being Erica.
Okay.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We're back, and insect repellent, please. We need you. Green one. Sebastian Pigott is with us. The green one jacket. You're on Being Erica.
Yeah.
You did a season. They loved you. They're bringing you back.
This is your 3rd season with them. You came in season 2.
I did. Sorry, I'm rudely eating nuts.
No. Eat your own nuts
your own
through
nuts.
our broadcast.
James and I have been eating each other's
That's
nuts.
All right, this got weird. Can we start?
Can we do this clean?
It's on camera. You've shown the nuts.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
They know that they're not those other.
Okay, so listen. What was the question about?
Sebastian Pigott with us today. Being Erica, you've been on 3 seasons. Did you do like 1 or 2 episodes?
Yeah, they brought me on for season 2.
Yeah.
You had a nice arc on season 2.
I did. It was biggest gig I'd ever gotten. First time doing a recurring.
And that's
role
a
coming out.
direct result of your notoriety from Canadian Idol.
Well, I think so, in so much as they were looking for a singer.
And they'd heard
They were
of
looking
you?
for a singer. Well, I think what happened was they went through several rounds of auditions, couldn't find their guy. Mm-hmm. And it was actually Jason Knight, casting director, who said, why don't you have another look at this guy? And so they'd seen my tape. And,
Okay.
I'd go. So we had made them have a second look, and then I think they became aware that, he actually is a singer. Mm-hmm. And the videos from Canadian Idol started circulating, and I got the gig. Mm-hmm. And it was.
And then the music you sing on the show is your own music.
Yeah, me and my brother write.
So that's a huge benefit. Is not only do you get to be the character they want you to be, but then you get to promote your own wares.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about someone on the show being a like a wannabe songwriter and say, hey, we want you to read, sing our music.
Yeah.
This is your song, and
Well, the first season that I was on, season 2.
yeah.
Me and my brother wrote a couple songs for the character, but then last season I came back to do 2 episodes,
Right.
and they have a songwriting department as well. And so when we pitched our song for season 2,
Right.
we had to go through a process where there were other songs submitted, being considered, and then they picked ours. Fortunately, it was, like you say, it's a
Sure.
pretty magical opportunity to get to sing your own tunes, and
But
it's fantastic.
To mouth the words to your own recordings?
But to my own singing.
Yes.
Shut up, James.
That's how they make movies and TV shows, Sebastian. They record the stuff beforehand.
You're
and
breaking
then
the illusion.
Then you mouth the words
illusion.
afterwards, and you make it look like you're doing it live. We're gonna do it live. Fuck
right.
this. We're
All right.
doing it live.
All right, get your
Hey,
own
you
stupid
broke the
show.
F-bomb before I did.
I was quoting Bill O'Reilly, though.
Oh, we earlier in the day we were saying I was going to say, Sebastian and James, I just want to give you a heads up that I'm going to use the word fuck today.
Didn't I use it before?
But you definitely said shit.
Oh,
Did
was
you
it
say
just
shit?
I said one of them. I
Let's
swore.
do. This is the part of the show where we do swears tally. So I've said fuck.
I said fuck.
You said, what did you say?
Piss.
Is that a swears though?
It's 4 letters.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's rude. You couldn't say it in front of your girlfriend's mother.
I could.
You could.
Well, not at the first time. You might
particularly if you're British.
not. That's
And-
true.
I got so pissed last night.
And my mother-in-law is British.
Well, you can't say in Canada.
No, you can't. You can't say cock.
But on City TV, you can say the word fucker.
No, you can't.
No, what I
you
wanted to
can.
say was, I just wanted to add because I should say that last season my character came back for 2 episodes and there was a song,
Right.
And we pitched a song that we wrote that I really loved and wanted to have on, and they picked one of the songwriting department songs that Kai sang
Right.
as one of his. So it's not strictly true that they're all mine.
Well,
I
but
just-
No,
Well,
but I do
give credit
remember
where
in the
credit's
first
due.
season,
Alien Like You, the
Alien
big
Like
one.
You
Yeah,
was
yeah,
your
that was
song,
a song that I wrote with my brother, and probably the best song I've ever written. I was really
Well, what
proud
I
of it.
liked about when you had to sing the other person's song is that you mouthed the words to your own song over that, and it's weird. Kind of looks like
Well,
you're singing
this
a-
show is pre-recorded, and right now I'm mouthing out our dialogue.
Oh, I thought
Oh,
it
there's
was
one
weird
more
that it kept
swear I
coming
wanted
from
to
over
add
there.
to the show.
Sure, please.
Okay, so I just wanted to add that one for the last swear of the day.
There's no guarantee.
But
on that.
I read, because I do research for these broadcasts, that this is going to be the last season of Being Erica. Did you know that?
I got some more swears. I'd like to add.
Hey,
I'd like
be
to add
thankful
to
they
the
brought
tally.
you back.
Prepare. Open up the tally because there's a whole bunch here to add. I'm preparing as if it's the last season.
Okay.
That's the way I'm thinking of it.
Every season I got to prepare.
No,
It's
but
a CBC
I've heard
series.
mixed things because there was a something that went out from somebody saying we've decided this is the last season, but now we've been told by
It's
CBC
on your website.
on my website.
Yeah, that's where I found out about
Oh,
it.
did you? Well, then it was me. It was me who said that it was
And it
somebody.
said
I don't
that
know.
you're
who.
writing a script that you're going to force at gunpoint them to shoot, where you murder everyone on the show. on the
No, I was
next
planning to
episode.
murder everyone on the show and film it.
Yeah, that's so.
not gonna go
Watch out, CBC.
We promote snuff films here.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, but I've been also
Snuffing
told
Erica,
that there's
the last episode.
I've been told that nobody can say it's the last season because only CBC has the right to make that call. So I don't think it is officially the last season at all.
Okay.
Not even the writer, producer, creators can make that call.
Apparently not.
Really?
Apparently not. This is the world we
Like,
live in.
imagine being forced to make a show for like 45 years.
It's like
Well, but I think they could.
called
and I-
Coronation
she
Street.
sells this, they sell the show, and then suddenly, like after season 3, you're
It
like,
becomes a hardcore pornography.
I'm like, I'm
We
good.
own the rights. We
I
can do
have
what we
I
want.
have no more story to tell, and CBC comes back and says, "We do."
Well, but I think, and I
We're gonna
think
hire a
that
whole new crew.
and that's the business we work in, and one of the things that's so I don't know if paradoxical is the right word, but contradictory about it in a way is that you've got artists, but you're doing business, and there's this huge gap in between in which you're forced to operate. And the idea that they could, if they wanted to, CBC could, even if the writers and creators didn't want to
Well,
come
then you
back,
get into that
they
jump-
could bring on whould they wanted.
You had the jumping the shark period.
Well, it's
that-
like-
I think they should have Charlie Sheen replace Dr. Tom though if they have to. Don't you think?
might
Because he
be-
needs
I
to
agree.
He might
He'd
be
be
looking for
fantastic,
work.
and imagine what his office would look like, just covered in cocaine and cigarettes.
just sprinkled all over
Empty
the place.
bottles, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm a collector.
And like 8 women sitting at the side of the object.
And imagine the quotes he would come up with.
Oh, it'd be great. Just let him go. Just let him go. What?
Cup
Okay.
the balls. Say
So
the name.
because this is the last season of Being Erica, what do you have lined up after that, Sebastian?
Nothing. Complete unemployment. What do you mean? What are you trying to break?
Yeah,
my heart?
you're a Canadian actor, of course.
No, go on. Sorry, what's the question? I do have future prospects.
What do you? Oh, actually, I read that you did. You played the kid in what's that called?
Yeah,
High Chicago.
High Chicago.
How was that?
It was one of the best film experiences I've ever had. I haven't seen the film, so I have no idea.
I know
they
they were casting it at our spot.
Yeah.
They were?
What's that about?
It's a poker movie, but it's set in Sudbury, and it's made by the Atatui brothers who did Beat the World, and they wrote it about their father, who was a black man in Sudbury.
Atatui Brothers, you still owe us some money.
Yep.
Do they?
Yeah. For what's that one? Stomp the
Beat the World.
Beat the World. So pay us. I'm serious. Green one. We need you. Okay, back
Do
to
they really owe you a bunch of money?
It's like
Well, but you see now the
200
problem with not paying your bills
Yeah.
is I was just about to make a lovely plug for them and their film.
No,
And-
do that,
Please.
too. Look, it's not
We're
black
also
and white.
artists, so we're not going to deny them their ability to make money because we
Because
need
then,
them to.
they can
then they
pay
can
you out
pay
of the
us.
money they make. Well,
there was a production
They certainly
company
couldn't
that
have paid you out of the money they paid
There's
me.
a bunch of there's a production company that operated for quite some time that I don't know if we should mention in this forum, but they were so behind in their bills because they were making a movie to pay for the one previous to that. So I don't know if that's the way those guys are.
I don't know. That's how I operate with my credit card. Probably not a sound strategy for a production company.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I think it's the film. I had a great time doing it. It's written about their father, who was a black man in Sudbury, which is a rare experience in itself. And he worked in the mines.
Was that the part you played?
Yeah, I played. Yeah, I did.
It's like you're like a second coming of Al Jolson.
Yeah, the Jolson years.
No, that was played with Brian Gumble.
Okay.
It was played with Colin Salmon. He was a British actor.
No, I know exactly who
Yeah,
that is. Yeah,
and he was fantastic, man.
he is also.
He owes you money.
No, he does not. He is apparently like a semi-world-class trumpeter, like jazz trumpeter.
He is, man, and he writes songs too. And so
Yeah.
one night we got drunk and he sang his jazz tunes. And
Nice.
it could have been really funny, but they were brilliant. They were really good. So I was like, oh no, that's actually really good, man.
Nice.
No, it's great, man.
Is he better drunk than he is? No, no.
I've never seen him sober. No, I'm joking. But go back to fishing, Sudbury, man. That's one of the places where I fell in love with fishing because I was up there for a month, and I was in for something like 10 days on the whole thing. And
You
all the
chose
rest of the
fishing
time
over nickel mining?
I went fishing. Well, I was close, but yeah.
Slag heap climbing.
But I had my motorcycle, and so I went down little rivers
that's wicked.
and fished. And,
It's I'd
Probably
like
more
to say it's
profitable
beautiful.
to be a nickel miner than it is to fish.
I don't know about these days, though.
I'd like to say that it's beautiful
Short
up
term.
there, but it's not.
Everybody says that. It's one of my favorite places in Ontario.
Because I used to on the
love it.
band circuit, we'd go to the Townhouse Tavern in Sudbury, and at that maybe they're trying to beautify the city.
Speaking of band circuit, the two of you, both
Wawa
Sebastian Pigott
Palooza.
and James Scott,
Hello there.
will be performing at the same festival.
Wawa Palooza.
That's right.
July
With
21st
Hawksley
and
Workman.
22nd with Hawksley Workman, Dan Hill, and
That's it.
Helix.
Dan Hill, I was especially excited about.
Well,
We,
I hope
we
you
repeatedly played his music after in the office.
He has an
Sometimes
when we touch. He has a great article in a Maclean's magazine on the legacy of Sometimes When We
He
Touch.
does.
Have you
yeah,
read that
no,
article?
He's actually a really interesting interview.
Yeah,
and
really?
I hear my girlfriend Katie Boland is really good friends with him, and she says he's a prince of a guy. So every time I try to make fun of him, she stops.
I don't
me.
think there's much to make fun of. I mean,
Hey man, the guy's made a whole shit pile of money off
that-
the song he wrote, and I
the
got all
sh-
the respect in the world for
It's
that.
mocked because it's so soft and tender and stuff. But,
But it was-
there's a
but it was
story
time-sensitive,
there's
that's
a,
why.
and also there's
When
a,
it came out, it was huge and it was time appropriate.
there's a
Have
part.
you ever been
in
a
that,
writer
in that-
trapped within your truth? I'm a writer trapped within my truth.
Is that one of the
Tweet
lines
that
in
out
song?
today.
Yeah.
Is that one of the lines in that song?
Yeah, I'm just another.
There's
writer.
there's this great he instantly becomes badass because of this one story where he's holidaying down in the Bahamas. He's got long dreads and he's on this yacht or something, and he's mistaken for a drug dealer down there.
Really?
So the Bahamanian Coast Guard or whatever come and they attack the boat because they think that he is there, and his girlfriend's there, and she's going, "No, he wrote Sometimes When We Touch." Dan, sing, and he's going, "Sometimes when we touch the honesty." And they go,
and then they
and they
shot
go,
him on the
no,
spot.
they go, "You wrote that?" because it's 1983 or something. The song still has some currency.
fantastic.
Can we get your autograph from
Well,
my
you know,
wife?
this is Manny Pacquiao, the boxer.
Yeah.
This is his signature tune, and he's actually released a version of Sometimes When We Touch
That's amazing.
in the Philippines. Yeah.
That man is going to be the president of the Philippines one day.
Well, yeah, I
is.
think he could be if he wanted to be right now.
He's
I'd vote
he
for him.
is-
He's amazing.
He is the biggest name in the Philippines to this day.
Yeah?
Yes.
I buy that.
Not just in boxing, but in acting.
Bigger than
in
Imelda
politics. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yes. Now.
Okay.
He's
He's
huge.
humongous.
He is humongous.
Does he make movies?
Yeah, he's like an everyman.
He does everything, man. He's an elected member of Congress or whatever it is.
Parliament or whatever it is. But yeah, he when he decides that he's going to hang up his gloves, he'll probably become the president of that country.
He probably could if he wanted to right now. I did want to tell a Sudbury story quickly
Yeah, please.
because it is a fascinating place and I do love it. But the first day I was there, we were shooting in this pub. And the reason we were able to shoot in the pub, first of all, is because it had been closed for selling drugs on the table. So we're shooting at this place. And we had to shut down halfway through because this fella who lived upstairs did a face plant. He just walked out on the patio, noticed there were people down below, and toppled directly over the thing and landed on his head. I know, it's very dark. He was okay, so we can laugh. He's all right, everything's fine. But that's Sudbury. That's Sudbury for you. We had to shut down filming because it's a great place to film. Bad place to die.
The Sudbury story. Speaking of filming and dying and writing, and we weren't talking about writing, but we are now. You have written a script that you were telling me about. A Western that is going to be made into a movie. Has it been scheduled to shoot yet or anything like that?
But things are moving along. We got some good news recently. I'm supposed to keep it under my hat, so I can't say too much. But Ed Gaston.
Cowboy hat.
Nice.
Western.
10-gallon hat.
Yeah.
Ed Gaston
Ed?
bought the option. He, great Toronto director, did a film called Small Town Murder Songs with Peter, how do you pronounce Stormare? Is that his last name?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. I struggle with the pronunciation. And so he was just named one of the top 10 directors to watch by Variety magazine in the States, and as a result, he's got a lot of heat on him. And so it looks like, knock wood, we found an American producer and a good one who's got a great track record and is going to make our film. So that's the last news I got. I'm not supposed to talk
And just
about it,
to explain to
probably fired
people
at this point from my job. That's right.
Explain to people because that this isn't some sort of instant thing. Like how long has this whole process taken up to this point?
Of writing the film and getting it to this point, I wrote it 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So fall of 2007, and I wrote it like for the same reason I went and did Canadian Idol, out of desperation and not working. And so I started writing plays for myself with a small theater company I was working with, Joe Dinical, who you probably know, and Mac Fife were part of it. And I started writing plays for us to do just so I could act. And then they wouldn't cast me in them, so I had to write a film. And then, only partially true. But then I wrote the film, and I had expectations. I was like, oh, great, we got a script. Who wants to make my script? Let's do it right now. We're ready to go. And, 3.5 years later, it's like, maybe. You know what I mean? And I feel very good about my maybe in the fall. That's a
good,
victory
man.
in our business.
You're lucky you'll get a credit. Maybe.
Maybe.
And Sebastian Pigott.
With original story by, because the screenwriting credit's going to go to someone else.
That's what they've
they
done
can't
to
do
my
that.
script, Ma.
That's the name of the movie.
So
I'm bleeding inside.
I'm going to see you in Wawa, which I'm really excited about.
All right, so
I love
why
Wawa,
don't you
man.
plug some
I took
shows?
a bus. I took a bus across Canada last year, from Toronto all the way out to Alberta, and going through Wawa. Man, when that gig came up this year, that was the reason I wanted to do it, because driving through Wawa, it's one of those beautiful places in
Is
Ontario.
it?
Have you never been?
No.
I'm not kidding, man.
I know
Absolutely
the girl whose father is the organizer of this whole thing, and they've got a Greyhound bus that's going to take us up there. Maybe you're going to be on it. I don't know.
Yeah, the one that leaves on Thursday. Yeah. Unless I have to shoot. See, I'm so into Wawa and being a part of it that I might have to shoot on that day. I was like, I'll drive myself up the next day.
Well, yeah, drive up on the motorbike. That'd
I
be
will,
amazing.
man. It's beautiful.
Yeah. But we're just going to party all the way up on that bus. That's going to be like the equivalent of the Festival Express train back in the early 70s. We'll be stumble off the bus.
Is that
professional?
I think that is.
Okay.
Other than Wawa,
Everybody else, if they hire you, that you take drugs.
I didn't say drugs. I said party. We're
sorry.
We're going to read the Bible, drink water, and party.
I didn't mean to suggest that drugs and partying were synonymous.
No, they're
in
not
that.
anymore, Sebastian. That's 1982. That's around the time of Sometimes When We Touch.
That's how that song came about, in fact.
And we'll hear. I hope Dan Hill has like a storytelling element to his show, so we can hear the legacy of.
If not, hopefully you just have a time when you
Dan
can
Hill
sit
only,
down with him and have a story.
Yeah, well, Dan
I'd
Hill
love to meet him.
Dan Hill
He's a
only
Canadian
has
icon.
3 songs, so that's how he pads out his set is through the stories about the making.
Is he going to be
He only has
doing
3
it
songs?
like?
Yeah, I believe he does.
And they're all 3 different versions of sometimes when you pass.
That's right. Sometimes when we touch this, sometimes when we touch that. Oh my God! Are we done?
Well, I think we're done. Do you have any upcoming gigs you want to plug dates for?
Oh, Wawapalooza.
Wawapalooza, man.
22nd and 23rd up in Wawa, Ontario. And that's about it. No, we got Being Erica coming out in September. And
You'll see Sebastian
and then-
this fall on CBC.
Hi, Chicago.
Is it still Wednesday
and High
nights at 8?
Chicago. High Chicago. I have no idea. They haven't released this schedule yet.
It was
Or maybe
once
they
Wednesday
have.
nights at 8.
Maybe they told me 2 days ago and I forgot. Let's go with Wednesday nights at 8.
And when
And High
was
Chicago, where I'm hoping is in Toronto Film Festival, but there's no official word yet.
Pay your bills. Hatatuis.
And then maybe you can get in.
Yep.
That's not a guarantee to get in.
James will put in a good word for
Yeah,
you.
I'll put in a good word for you.
There are plenty of films that have been in TIFF that haven't paid us.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. This has been Cast This. I'm James Scott.
I'm Ryan Goldheim.
And this has been Sebastian Pigott. Thanks a lot, Sebastian.
Hey, thanks for having me. That was real fun. I had a great time. That was awesome.